I mean, one of her exes was very clear. He said to me, I was warned by another person in beauty pageant world that girl will do anything to get to the top, and her mother will do anything to help her get to the top.
I love submitting to Charlie because
Candace Owens just dropped a wild claim about Erika Kirk, and now people are seriously side-eyeing Charlie's relationship like never before. According to Candace, this wasn't some sweet, slow-building love story at all. It might have been something way more complicated from the start, and folks are starting to question everything they thought they knew. She's hinting that Erika may have been making moves way earlier than anyone clocked, and that idea alone has people raising eyebrows fast, and it doesn't even end there.
It was always a lie. She worked for TPUSA, she co-hosted sometimes with Charlie, and she even made content of her own. Once he did, she immediately took his role as the head of TPUSA.
Candace is also suggesting that the age Erika puts out publicly might not fully match what some official records seem to show, which is adding a whole new layer of questions people can't ignore. That one detail alone has people talking non-stop, questioning everything, and digging deeper than ever before. If Candace is even partly right about Erika not being fully open about her real age, then the whole timeline of when she first got close to Charlie suddenly feels way more intense than people first believed.
Everything about this marriage, everything about this divorce, everything about Erika's early years is shady.
What once sounded like a normal, low-key beginning is now being picked apart from every angle, and people are looking at it with a whole different mindset. Now it's not just curiosity, it's full-on scrutiny, with folks asking serious questions and trying to piece together what really happened behind the scenes. Now people are digging up old clips of Erika, replaying every moment where she explained how they first connected, trying to match her words with the actual timeline and see what really lines up. It's like every detail is getting put under a microscope, and nothing is sliding by unnoticed anymore. But what's really making people uneasy isn't just the numbers or the age talk.
he's a phenomenal leader, and the way that he loves me, like, melts me to want to be able to help. How can I help you?
It's the idea being pushed that Erika may have used that gap to her advantage, slowly locking in her place in Charlie's life, step by step. That possibility has folks looking at the whole situation differently, and the questions just keep stacking up. The way Candace lays it all out step by step makes the whole situation feel less like a natural relationship and more like something carefully planned, at least to critics watching every detail. The breakdown has people rethinking everything because instead of a simple connection, it's being framed as a strategic move. And that shift in perspective has folks paying way closer attention than before.
Through her exes, you can see like she was going to be with somebody. She was, okay, you're going to the NFL, you're going to the MLB, we can be on The Amazing Race together. You will see very clearly she is not dating a regular guy ever. Okay.
When you hear it framed like that, it really hits different and starts shifting how people see the entire story. That's where Candace's investigative series, Bride of Charlie, takes center stage, especially episode 4, which has people talking non-stop. Without that episode, most people would have never even heard about a reported 10-year stretch in Erika Kirk's childhood where her birthday shows up inconsistently across multiple court and child support records. And that detail alone has people raising eyebrows fast. During that stretch, Erika's birthday is listed as November 22nd, 1988. But here's where it gets messy. Based on current public records, her birthday is said to be November 20th, and Candace points out how unusual it is to see that kind of mismatch inside formal court documents.
Idea that she didn't want it is just not true. It's so objectively not true. Erika, without question, and anybody who's being objective and honest and looking at her history of the people that she dated and the people that she wanted to be in close proximity to, can guarantee to you that this girl wanted to be famous, like very badly wanted to be famous one way or the other.
Especially in child support filings, where details like a child's birthday are supposed to be accurate and carefully verified. This kind of inconsistency stands out in a big way and has people asking serious questions. Candace even shared what she calls receipts, putting out copies of those court documents. And that's when the whole conversation started shifting fast. Suddenly, it wasn't just speculation anymore. People began digging deeper, comparing details and trying to figure out what really explains those differences. Erika's supporters had been brushing off those earlier inconsistencies as simple human error, nothing too serious. But once those screenshots started circulating, the mood shifted fast.
She's trying to relate like she's just like a single mom and working a 9 to 5, working at a restaurant, trying to make ends meet for her children and the father.
Suddenly, some people felt like this might be more than just a careless mix-up, and the conversation got a lot louder. Now the debate is split wide open, with some calling it confusion and others saying it deserves a much closer look. In some of those files, the dates appear scratched out and rewritten by hand, which immediately caught people's attention. In others, there's no notary stamp at all, and a few are even missing a judge's signature, raising even more questions about how reliable those records really are. That means for nearly a 10-year stretch of Erika's childhood, there isn't a clear, consistent paper trail showing her exact age. And that gap is what has people talking nonstop. At first, it might not sound like a huge deal, but Candace says this is exactly where things start getting serious. According to her, this paper trail lines up with other details she believes don't quite add up about Erika, including how precisely timed her relationship with Charlie appears when you start putting everything side by side.
Insult to Charlie because it implies he had nothing, it did not have their affairs in order at all. Like he just had kids and was just like, oh, well, if anything happens to me, I hope my wife is able to assume my role. No, Charlie always had his financial house in order.
Erika has always described their relationship as a normal love story. Two people who met, connected, and built something real. But Candace argues that when you start lining up the dates, the interviews, and the way Erika talks about her past, some of those numbers begin to feel off. From Candace's perspective, it doesn't come across as something simple, and that's what's keeping people locked into this story and questioning what really happened. Not a whole organic romance at all. That's the angle Candace is pushing. Instead, she suggests it looks more like a carefully planned partnership, driven by strategy rather than pure emotion, at least from her point of view. In this version, Erika isn't seen as someone who just happened to meet Charlie during a work interview that naturally turned into something deeper. Candace frames it like Erika may have been very intentional, possibly choosing him at a key turning point in her life.
He had to deal with the kids. Wasn't Erika home? Couldn't Erika have gotten him back down if you had an appointment to make? Perhaps, maybe she was like, no, it's your turn, you deal with it. You said the next morning when he snuck in, he grabbed his wedding band. Again, minor detail, but I asked myself, why was his wedding band off? She suddenly apparently had a clear enough mind to decide that she wanted to take the board to a boat to make her receive.
This is where Candace says she starts noticing a pattern, and it's got people paying close attention. When she looks at Erika's past relationships, she points out that Charlie seems very different from the kind of men Erika was previously linked to, and that contrast is exactly what keeps the conversation going strong. It's not just about who she dated, it's about how different those connections appear when placed side by side, and why that shift even happened. Before Charlie, Erika was linked to pro athletes, entertainers, and even political figures. A completely different circle compared to where she ended up later. She once described her then-boyfriend, pro baseball player Tyler J.T. Massey, as her favorite human, best friend, and incredible boyfriend. And that makes her eventual choice of Charlie stand out even more in Candace's narrative.
You are marrying a man that is not capable of completely and totally handling the finances, that you should not marry that man. Finances will break a marriage quicker than anything else, period.
But what if he checks all of the boxes? He just is horrible at money. And you're really good at money.
It doesn't matter.
For critics watching closely, that contrast raises even more questions about what might have really been going on behind the scenes. A lot of people online are convinced Tyler might have been Erika's real one that got away, especially since those engagement-style photos made it look like they were right on the edge of getting married. That image stuck with people, and now it's being brought back into the conversation in a big way. That history adds a whole new layer to how people are re-examining her relationship timeline and the decisions she made along the way. Before all of this, Erika was consistently dating within those same Hollywood-style circles, moving as a reality TV personality and staying close to entertainers, influencers, and people with status. That pattern is exactly what people are zeroing in on now, trying to figure out what it all means. Some photos even went viral that made it seem like Erika may have also been linked to Cabot Phillips, who later became associated with Charlie's organization, TPUSA. And that detail is only adding more fuel to the speculation. It's got people connecting dots, wondering how those circles may have overlapped, and questioning whether those connections were just coincidence or something more deliberate. On the speculation side, in Candace's version of events, she claims Erika didn't just randomly end up with these men by chance. Instead, she suggests Erika may have been intentional, possibly choosing partners she believed could help move her career forward in different ways. Candace even brings up Erika's mom, Lori, saying she may have played a role in shaping that mindset, which only makes the whole situation feel even more intense as people continue to debate what's real and what isn't. Early on, according to Candace, Lori taught Erika how to move in elite spaces, get into the right rooms, and understand which connections could bring more visibility, status, and influence. From that perspective, Candace argues that Erika may have zeroed in on Charlie as soon as she saw him as a major opportunity, tied to her long-term path. That's why, in Candace's view, it didn't really matter that Charlie seemed different from the type she was usually linked to, or even that there was an age gap between them. The move still made sense strategically, at least from how Candace presents it. Publicly, Erika is said to have recently turned 37, while Charlie was 31 when he passed, putting the difference at around 5 years. But Candace suggests, based on the documents and clips she shared, that the gap could be larger, and that claim has people questioning things even more. She also points to how quickly Erika stepped into a major role within what Charlie built, which many observers have called unusual and worth a closer look. In Candace's framing, that rapid rise is seen as a key detail, suggesting Erika may have held a very powerful position in his life sooner than people expected. Candace argues that this level of trust wasn't random and could have played a serious role in how events unfolded for him. According to her narrative, it shows just how deeply Charlie may have relied on Erika, which is exactly why this entire situation has people watching closely and trying to connect every piece of the story. In episode 7 of her Bride of Charlie investigative series, Candace zooms in on how Erika has been presenting herself publicly as a struggling single woman, working nonstop to hold her family together, echoing the same kind of story she tells about her mother. That image has resonated with a lot of people, but Candace argues there's more to it than what's being shown. According to Candace, that portrayal doesn't fully line up with what she believes the reality actually looks like. She claims Charlie made sure his family was financially secure while he was alive, and says that after his passing, Erika reportedly received at least $10 million from his estate, And that's not even counting any possible life insurance, along with reported donations from Charlie's friends and supporters, plus the major TPUSA platform Erika stepped into shortly after his death. Candace uses all of this to question how Erika gained that level of trust so quickly and completely. She suggests it may have started with small shifts in how Erika told her story over time, including claims that her childhood was far more difficult than some records might indicate. In Candace's view, these details build into a much bigger picture, one that keeps raising eyebrows and fueling debate as more people start asking what's really true behind it all and whether there's more beneath the surface than what's been shared publicly. Candace also suggests that parts of Erika's dating history may have been presented in a way that made her seem more aligned with what Charlie valued, especially the image of a devoted Christian wife. She believes there could have been details from Erika's past that Charlie may not have fully known, and argues that if everything had been clear from the start, things might have unfolded very differently. That claim alone has people leaning in and questioning what was really understood behind closed doors. According to Candace, this is the point where everything starts to feel more exposed. After laying out her claims, a wave of reactions hit online, with many people saying it completely changed how they saw the relationship. Some now believe Erika had a strong level of influence over Charlie, especially when it came to the trust he placed in her. One person even summed it up by saying, according to Candace Owens, Erika Kirk's choice in men and who she orbited proves one thing. She wanted to be famous so badly, she didn't care how it happened. Another commenter didn't hold back either, writing, Erika Kirk is such a fraud, lie after lie after lie being discovered. From there, reactions across platforms like Twitter and Reddit only got louder as more clips started resurfacing. Some viewers pointed to moments where Erika appeared to guide conversations with Charlie, including one podcast clip that grabbed a lot of attention. In it, the two were debating something as simple as who should handle finances at home. But the dynamic between them had people talking even more, with many reading deeper into how they interacted behind the scenes. Candace also suggests that parts of Erika's dating history may have been presented in a way that made her seem more aligned with what Charlie valued, especially the image of a devoted Christian wife. She believes there could have been details from Erika's past that Charlie may not have fully known, and argues that if everything had been clear from the start, things might have unfolded very differently. That claim alone has people leaning in and questioning what was really understood behind closed doors. According to Candace, this is the point where everything starts to feel more exposed. After laying out her claims, a wave of reactions hit online, with many people saying it completely changed how they saw the relationship. Some now believe Erika had a strong level of influence over Charlie, especially when it came to the trust he placed in her. One person even summed it up by saying, according to Candace Owens, Erika Kirk's choice in men and who she orbited proves one thing. She wanted to be famous so badly she didn't care how it happened. Another commenter didn't hold back either, writing, Erika Kirk is such a fraud, lie after lie after lie being discovered. From there, reactions across platforms like Twitter and Reddit only got louder as more clips started resurfacing. Some viewers pointed to moments where Erika appeared to guide conversations with Charlie, including one podcast clip that grabbed a lot of attention. In it, the two were debating something as simple as who should handle finances at home. But the dynamic between them had people talking even more, with many reading deeper into how they interacted behind the scenes. Charlie calmly explained that he believed the man should handle the finances, staying consistent with his image as a traditional Christian husband. But Erika pushed back, saying sometimes the woman might actually be better at managing things, and she didn't back down from that stance at all. That moment stood out to a lot of viewers, especially since Erika has publicly supported the idea of women staying home instead of chasing careers, which made the exchange feel a little more layered than it first seemed. Candace argues that this kind of back and forth could be part of blending into a conservative audience while still wanting influence behind the scenes. In her view, moments like that podcast clip hint at how Erika may really think, suggesting those small debates weren't random at all. She believes Erika may have used conversations like that to quietly test boundaries and gradually make Charlie more open to her taking a bigger role in decision-making step by step. But in Candace's version of events, she claims Charlie may have eventually started to feel like something wasn't adding up. She has said that he ordered a full audit of TPSA's finances just weeks before he passed away. According to Candace, he died before he had the chance to fully review or uncover what might have been happening behind the scenes. And that claim has only added more mystery and speculation to an already intense situation. And that's the point where, for many people watching, everything started to shift. Candace claims that when Erika stepped into Charlie's office after his passing, she moved quickly, shutting down the audit and putting an end to the investigation. That detail alone has made the timeline feel even more questionable to those following closely, with people continuing to debate what really happened behind the scenes. Now, as more clips and documents keep resurfacing, some people are finding it harder to write everything off as just coincidence. The deeper people dig, the more intense the conversation gets, especially if even parts of Candace's claims end up holding any weight. From that angle, it starts to paint a much heavier picture. Not just a relationship that didn't work out, but one where Charlie may have placed deep trust in someone Candace believes had been positioning herself in his life for years, at least according to her version of events. And in that same telling, it all seemed to reach a turning point right as Charlie may have started asking more serious questions, when suddenly time ran out. That idea alone has kept people locked into the story, debating what's wakari and what's being interpreted, with opinions continuing to split as more details come to light. If you've got your own take on this, drop it in the comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to see this.